Hi, everyone. This is Maya Zahira with Psychic Protection Sanctuary, and we're now live in our free Facebook group, which is called Psychic Protection Sanctuary Facebook group. And I am joining you from Southeast Arizona in the desert. I just finished a couple of client sessions and I peeked outside and it's a beautiful sunset that I'm watching right over here. We have amazing sunsets here in the desert. And I'll be sure to post a picture when I'm done. If you're in the Facebook group, I'll post it there. So just a big shout out to everybody, couple of announcements, and then we'll get into our topic for today. Today's topic is make sure you know what kind of entity you are clearing before you try to throw clearing solutions at it. So, first, a shout out to all of the people watching on the YouTube channel. Hello. This is a Facebook Live, so it is unscripted, unedited, intentionally. We're here live in our Facebook group. I invite you, if you're not already a member of the Facebook group, to join us because we do have daily posts and a lot going on in the group. It's a very supportive environment. And we do have a Facebook Live. I just started back doing Facebook Lives. I was busy, really busy for a while finishing my second book. But we've started back with doing free Facebook Live classes. And those happen every Tuesday at 5:30 Pacific, 6:30 Mountain, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. Adjust to your time zone if you're somewhere else. Literally put it in your calendar, in your phone calendar as a repeating event that sends an alarm to you that sends you a little reminder 10 minutes before or 5 minutes before so you can join us live. So as always, I like to interact with the people who are here live. So go ahead and say hi and let us know where you're joining from. Okay, so now that we have switched to a weekly schedule with our Facebook Lives, I'm kind of doing a little bit of a different format and maybe even a little bit more laid back. When I was doing the Facebook Lives once a month, I would actually prepare a class with notes and lots of content, and we would do our interacting and our comments and questions, and I would teach that content. But since we're meeting more often, I am most of the time going to keep it more casual. So today I have a little bit that I'm going to say about our topic, and then I'm going to read to you a section from my new book that relates to what I'm going to talk about today. Okay. So Elle is joining from Madison, Wisconsin. It's very good to see you on here. Okay. So, the reason why this topic came to mind, making sure that you know what kind of entity you're clearing before you try to throw solutions, before you try to throw various different clearing things at the problem. This topic came to mind because I see this a lot. People contact me, people email me, or they make a comment on social media, or I'll be scrolling through social media, not on my own page, but not in my own groups, but maybe I'll be seeing posts from random Facebook friends or other Facebook groups, and I see this comment so much. It's basically somebody saying, I need help. I have some kind of paranormal activity going on in my home. I tried burning sage, or I tried burning Palo Santo, or I tried this or that, and it didn't work. Okay. That phenomenon is really common, that if you try something very small, if you try a small solution like that, it's usually not going to work unless it's a really easy issue. But the thought that always pops into my mind is, well, you haven't checked to find out what you're clearing yet. How do you know what to burn? Or, excuse me, I'm still dealing with a cold. How do you know what tools to use if you haven't identified what kind of entity or what kind of energy issue you're dealing with? If it's black magic, if it's an entity, what kind of entity? How do you know what tools to use? Like, there are tools that work for some spiritual beings for clearing them out, and other tools don't work very well for that entity. Now, the reason why I'm going over this is because a lot of people don't realize this. They think that there's like one or two tools that pretty much work for everything, but that's not actually the case. And there actually are some particular kinds of entities where if you take the wrong approach, it can actually make the situation more dangerous. So if it seems like you're dealing with something really powerful, then proceed with caution. If it seems very, very like a very subtle kind of easy issue, I wouldn't be too nervous about that. You can try different things and you'll probably be safe. But if it feels like a really strong, powerful problem that you're dealing with, proceed with caution, because certain entities can lash out and actually cause harm because they're angry that you used the method, whatever the method was, and that method may be totally ineffective in cleansing them out, but it is effective in stirring them up and making them more angry. So, I won't have the time in this class to go over all of the solutions. You would need to get my book, which is the Psychic Attack Sourcebook. The Psychic Attack Sourcebook. You can get it on Amazon. It's my second book, so I do have another book if you're interested. You can get both books if you want to. Today, though, I'm going to read to you from chapter 1, and there's a section all about types of entities. So this is basically going to introduce you to the fact that there are different types of beings and they present themselves in different ways. I could have actually written a whole book just on this topic. So keeping that in mind, these are very brief descriptions of each entity, and there's certainly a lot more to say about each of these. And then if you are looking for solutions, that would be in the final chapter of my book. Okay. Let's dive in. So it's reading time. This is page 26, in case you would like to look this up in your own copy of your book. Okay, let's dive right in. Types of entities. There are quite a few categories of troublesome spiritual beings that exist. Far too many to fully define within the scope of this particular book. However, we can touch on a few of the most common. These include evil spirits, demons, jinn, angry elementals, astral parasites, and thought form entities. Evil spirits. Evil spirits are earthbound human souls that have chosen to polarize to the dark side. Some evil human souls are truly sadistic, psychopathic beings that appear to have no conscience when it comes to causing harm. Yet others are simply acting out their unhealed pain or addictive behaviors through their interactions with the living. Demons. Demons are non-human entities who belong to the demonic race of spiritual beings. They are one of many types of entities that enjoy feeding off of the energy and suffering, feeding off of the energy of suffering. Therefore, they do what they can to cause a great deal of agony and distress to their victims. Within the demonic realm, there is a hierarchy of beings from weakest to strongest. The least powerful demons are lower in intelligence and tend to appear to me like little creatures, similar in appearance to flying gargoyles. Mid-level demons are the most common when it comes to those that oppress and possess humans. They are fairly intelligent and tend to have a human-like appearance with demonic facial or body features like horns. High-ranking demons are by far the most intelligent and the most powerful and dangerous among this race of beings. They are also least likely to visit the earth plane, but when they do, all hell breaks loose for the person being attacked. Jinn, and that is spelled D-J-I-N-N. Many in the Western world have not heard of jinn, and if they have, they think they are like the lovable, mischievous genies from Hollywood movies who grant your 3 wishes and then try to trick you in funny ways. Jinn, D-J-I-N-N, also spelled J-I-N-N or J-I-N, are mentioned numerous times in the Islamic Holy Quran and are generally equated with demons. However, based on several of my own very jarring personal encounters, I assert that demons and jinn are completely different beings. In their most natural form, jinn are plasma-like entities made up of flameless fire. Extremely clever shapeshifters, they will take the form of animals, people, angels, aliens, spirit guides, ascended beings, deceased loved ones, whatever will be most effective in manipulating, confusing, or scaring the person being targeted by the jinn. Jinn are psychopaths that delight in causing confusion, pain, and despair. Those who have had jinn encounters may report incidents of missing time, bends in reality, wildlife acting bizarre, hearing a loud, booming voice inside their head, and seeing strange visions. Because these entities are extremely sadistic, setting strong, direct boundaries is ill-advised when dealing with jinn, and I want to really emphasize that. In fact, doing so can have a disastrous backlash, which might even result in the death of the person being targeted, their loved ones, or their pets. Use great caution when trying to clear a jinn. And that gives me chills. I know this from personal experience and working with clients. So if I were to caution you regarding any type of entity clearing and being careful in how you approach that clearing, jinn is the one that I feel you need to have the most caution with. Let me take a quick break, get a drink, and then we'll continue with the next type of entity. Next, earth elementals. Being a genuine lover of nature, most of my encounters with earth elementals have been truly wonderful, supportive, helpful, and lovely. Earth elementals can include fairies, devas, and other natural guardians of the land. I personally believe that, like human beings, there are good elementals. There are those that are somewhere in between, and some that are quite troublesome. Many earth elementals can have a joyful, playful nature, and therefore may choose to have fun at your expense, like stealing your personal belongings or playing tricks on you. If you have infringed upon their natural territory, excuse me, or have caused harm to the earth, you may come under attack by the local elementals. This is why you should always take care to honor the earth and all of the other physical and spiritual beings living there. If you should have a negative encounter with the elementals, consider doing something tangible to make amends or leave the area completely. Astral parasites, less known but equally creepy and troublesome, are microscopic entities and astral parasites, worms and spiders. Unlike one single scary entity, astral parasites can infect a person's system with thousands or multiple thousands of tiny entities. Like a nasty bug infestation, these critters can be challenging to eradicate. Thought form entities. A thought form entity, also called a tulpa, is created by the focused thought, intention, or desire of a magical practitioner for the purpose of either protection or attack against a targeted individual. A thought form entity can be created to appear like any of the actual entities described previously, except it is not real in the standard sense. A person being vexed by an evil sorceress, for example, might believe they are beleaguered by actual demons or what have you, when in reality they are being harassed by a thought form entity sent by the sorceress. So in other words, it's an energetic thought sent to the person to make them believe that there are entities attacking them, and like demons, for example, and it's actually a thought form entity and not actually demons or whatever is intended. It is important to point out that there are countless types of beings that exist from a variety of different dimensions and realities, including some that are non-earthly, in other words, extraterrestrial. There are spiritual beings, interdimensional beings, various alien beings, and so much more. For the sake of simplicity and clarity, we're going to simply acknowledge that these beings exist, but not go too far down too many rabbit holes at once. Doing so could take us in too many scattered directions. Suffice it to say, these beings do exist. There are many times within this book that I will lump all of these beings into one general concept, which I will call the dark forces or negative forces. However, keep in mind that each type of being has its own unique agenda and way of operating. Therefore, the methods for spiritual clearing will vary. Okay, do we have any questions? I think I'm going to stop there because my voice is starting to go again. Any questions today? All right. Let's see. Cough drop. Well, thank you everybody for joining live. Thank you for being here. And we're going to go live next week, same time. I have a different topic planned each week. I won't always be reading to you from my book or books. Probably for a while now that, like right now, my second book is still really new. I'll probably be reading to you at least once a month from a section of my book. The rest of the time, we'll just be talking and having discussions. So I look forward to seeing you next week. And if you'd like to work with me more deeply, I encourage you to visit my website, which is psychicprotectionsanctuary.com. And you can click on the Work with Maya link in the menu, and you'll see the various different ways that you can work with me at this time. I will see you next week. In the meantime, I'm sending you all my love.